Hello mga ka-Johnny! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Again, this is Sir Raubensun, your partner in learning mathematics. This is my first video discussing business mathematics, and welcome to Business Mathematics 101. Hello ABM student, this is for you. So, we are done discussing the first part of the buying and selling of products, and that is markdown rate, markup, trade discount, and a lot more. So this is the continuation of the buying and selling of products. Again and again, welcome. In this video, we are going to learn about cash discounts. I know that we already discussed trade discount. The question is, what is the difference between cash discounts and trade discount? I'm going to tell you as we discuss along the way, okay? But before I continue my discussion in this video, I hope that you turn on the subtitle button of this video so you can able to take note of the terms that I am going to say in this video. For it is only for those students who are having hard time following the speed of my talk. Okay, that's great. So in learning cash discounts, we have to take note of the following terminologies. These are the terminologies that we are going to encounter as we solve cash discount. First is the invoice, second is the payment itself, third is the payment time period, fourth is the payment terms, and lastly, the cash discount. Again and again, these are the terminologies that we are going to encounter as we go on in this video. I hope you are going to take note of these following terms. Okay, so let's define each of the term, okay? First is, what is the invoice? Invoices usually contain payment time and payment term. In short, invoices are just like a receipt where the payment, the amount that you are going to pay, and also the time period that you have to pay this certain amount. That is invoices. Third one is the payment time period. We already know what is payment. That is the cash that you are going to pay in a certain merchandise that you purchase. So the payment time period is the period within the invoice must be paid, after which it becomes overdue. In short, every time that we encounter invoices and cash discount, we are going to consider the amount or the payment time period until when that we're going to pay the certain amount that we purchase in a certain factory. Okay? That is the payment time period. Next, cash discount. We are now down to cash discount. What is the difference between cash discount and trade discount? Cash discount, it is the amount or the percentage of the net price that is deducted from the net price if the bill is paid on or before a specified time period called the discount period. Okay, as you can observe, cash discount and trade discount has similarities. For the trade discount is applied in each item. Okay, again, trade discount is applied in each item, while the cash discount is applied to the total amount of all the items that you purchase. The question is, why is there a cash discount offered by any suppliers to any buyer? Okay, to all the buyers. The reason is, most suppliers offer buyers a cash discount to encourage payment of bills before they become overdue. Okay, so very obvious that the supplier gave the amount or the cash discount to encourage the buyers or the buyers, the one who purchased, to pay that one in a time period. Meaning, the more excuse me, if you pay the certain amount in a short period of time, therefore a big amount of cash discount will be granted. Otherwise, if you pay as an overdue, there is an approximation of 1% as an additional to your payment. Again, trade discount is applied in every item, while the cash discount is applied to the total amount of item. That is the difference between cash discount and trade discount. Okay, so that is the other terminology. Second, lastly, the payment terms. Okay, so in this video, we are going to learn what are the payment terms used in the business industries, particularly in your field. So these are the payment terms that is usually written on the invoices. Okay, example of the payment term. If the invoice is dated June 10 and marked 15 EOM, what does it mean? So meaning, the payment term here is 15 EOM. Okay? So later on, we are going to learn what does 15 EOM means. Second example of payment terms. If the invoice is marked, excuse me, if the invoice is marked COD or cash on delivery, what does it mean? I believe you are familiar with cash on delivery. Third one is, what if the invoice is written with the payment term as 2/10 and N/30? What does it mean? In short, in this video, we are going to learn this kind of payment terms and this. Okay, so let's start interpreting the payment terms. Say for example, in example number 1, I have here the payment term or the invoice payment term is 2/10 and N/30. What does it mean? So let's try to interpret this one by one. So the interpretation of this payment terms 2/10 and N/30 is a 2% cash discount is deducted from the total amount. So let's assume that we already have a total amount purchased in a particular factory. So you will be having a 2% cash discount from the total amount of the merchandise if the payment is made during the 10-day discount period. Say for example, you purchase the amount in January 1, 2020. So if you paid that one in the first 10 period, example, January 1, January 2, January 3, January 4, January 5, January 6, January 7, January 8, January 9, January 10, and until January 11. Because from January 1, the first 10 days is until January 11. If you pay the certain amount in that period for the first 10 days, meaning you are granted with 2% cash discount. In short, this is the in this part, it refers to 2% in the first 10 days from the invoice date. Okay? So otherwise, if ever that you cannot pay that one in the first 10 days, meaning this will apply. The second, again, if the first part of if you fail to pay that one in the first 10-day period, meaning the first part wouldn't be applied. Meaning, let's proceed to the second. In short, if hindi mo nabayaran yan in the first 10 days, the 2% cash discount is no longer applied to your cash discount. So meaning, you're going to proceed that one to last one. If you encounter N/30, if you encounter as your numerator as N, meaning no cash discount. No cash discount is given to you. Okay? So the 30 here, it indicates that the total amount is must be paid within 30 days. So meaning, the overdue is from January 1 plus 30 days because it indicates the overdue days. Meaning, again and again, if the first part is no longer applied to your cash discount, we are going to proceed to the second part. Okay? If you encounter N, it means no discount is given to you. If you encounter 30, it means first 30 days. That is already the overdue date. So let's go back to my example that I've said to you that if you purchase the amount on January 1, Meaning, on January 31, that is the first 30 days. On January 31, that is the due date or the overdue date. Okay? So that's how we interpret payment terms. Again, the first one, it indicates the 2% cash discount if you pay the amount in the first 10 days. First 10 days. If you fail to pay that one in the first 10 days, therefore, you are going to proceed to the second part, that is n over 30. Once you encounter in the second part, that is n already, it means no cash discount is given to you. And the number, as the denominator of your n, it indicates the number of days at the overview from January 1, say for example, first 30 days, that is January 31. If you pay on February 21, therefore, that is overdue already. So meaning, an approximation of 1% will be added to the cash amount or the total amount of merchandise you purchase. Okay? So that is example number 1, and that's how we interpret payment terms. Let's try another example. So example number 1, as you can observe, I have 3 series of payment terms. First one is 5 over 10, second one is 2 over 20, and the last one is n over 30. How are we going to interpret that one? So of course, in each interpretation, it begins with the first part. So our first part here is 5 over 10. So okay, let's try to answer this example number 2. Still, we are going to interpret some of the payment terms. Okay, so in the payment terms, in this example number 2, we have 5 over 10, 2 over 20, and n over 30. So what is the interpretation of these payment terms? So again and again, these payment terms are connected to each other. So every time that we interpret the payment term, we have to begin with the first part. So in this first part, again, whatever in the numerator, that is the cash discount rate that is granted to the bill or the amount you purchase, the total amount you purchase in a particular factory. So on the denominator, that is the number of days. So the interpretation of this example number 2 is that this means that 5% may be deducted from the bill if paid within 10 for the first 10 days. So this is what 5%. 10 here is the first 10 days. Okay. If you fail to pay the bill in the first 10 days from the invoice date, therefore, you are going to proceed to the second payment term, which is 2 over 20. 2 there is the cash discount. So meaning, if you fail to pay that one in the first 10 days, 5% is no longer granted to the bill or as the cash discount to your bill. Therefore, let's proceed to the second one. That is 2% if paid from the 11 to the 20th. Okay? So this is the first 10 days if not granted, meaning this is now 2% for the first 20 days or from the 11th to 20 day from the invoice date. Okay, that is 2%. If failed to pay that one in the first 20 days, therefore you are going to proceed it here. That is n over 30. Again and again was what I told you earlier. Again and again what I told you earlier. And here is, it means that no cash discount rate is given or granted to your bill. Okay? So meaning, full payment of the goods is due from the 21st to 30th day of the date of the invoice. Meaning 30 here, that is the due date from the invoice date. Right? Say for example that I paid, or my invoice date is written as January 1. What is the first 10 days? That is until January 11. And January 11, the first 20 days, that is January 21. And the 30th day that is January 31. That's how we interpret everything. Again and again, whatever in the numerator, that is the rate or the cash discount rate. And whatever in the denominator, that is the days referring to when are you going to pay. As you can observe, the longer you pay, the less discount you will grant in your bill. And the worst is no discount is given until the overdue. And once you pay that one overdue, again and again, approximately of 1% will be given to you. Okay, will be added to your amount. Okay, that's how we interpret example number 2. So now let's proceed to example number 3. As you can observe, my payment term here is kind of different compared to the first two. Let's go back to the first two. For the first example number 1, 2 over 10 and over 30, which is similar to example number 2, 5, 10, 220, and n30. For example number 3, that's kind of different. Okay? This is another payment terms that is that has a big possibility that you are going to encounter as you interpret the invoices sooner. Okay, so 3 over 7 EOM. Once you encounter EOM, it refers to the end of the month, meaning the cash discount days will begin next month. So for example, I paid that one my invoice date is January 1. If it says that EOM, meaning I'm going to pay that one next month. Okay, the cash discount will still grant next month. Okay, so that's how you interpret EOM. So how are we going to interpret this kind of payment term? Interpretation is the buyer will receive a 3% cash discount, meaning you will be granted still a 3% discount if the bill paid is within 7 days of the next month. Why did I refer here next month? Because I have here EOM. Why 7 days before? Because my denominator is 7 days. Meaning if my invoice date is January 1 and it's written as 3 over 7 EOM, the 3% discount is still applicable next month. So that is the first 7 days of February. Okay? So that's how 3 over 7 EOM. Again and again, if you encounter EOM, it refers to next month. Okay? So that's how you interpret that one. Okay? So don't worry, if you still have hard time understanding that one, we still have lots of example in this video. So do not forward the video, keep on watching the video. Take note of the important details. Okay? I still have here example number 4. It is now a combination of the two. 3 over 7 EOM and n over 30. Again and again, when we refer to EOM, it refers to the next month. Okay? And it refers to no discount given. So, in example number 4, my payment term is 3 over 7 EOM and n over 30. What is the interpretation of this one? The buyer will receive a 3% cash discount if the bill is paid within 7 days of the next month. Why 7 days? Here, that is the denominator. Why 3%? That is the numerator. Why next month? Because it refers to EOM. Again, every EOM refers to next month. If I fail to pay that one within the 7 days of the next month, meaning I'll no longer apply this 3 over 7. I'll proceed to the next one, which is n over 30. As what I've told you in my previous earlier, when we say n, it doesn't refer to discount, meaning zero discount. If you fail to pay that one in the first 7 days of the next month, meaning you are going to pay the full amount of the from the 8th to 30th day. So meaning the 30th day, that is the overdue. Why am I referring to 30th day? You can able to see it here. Whatever the denominator of your n, that is the overdue amount. Okay, so that's how we interpret this one. 3 over 7. Again, EOM, it refers to next month. Okay, so that is example number 4. Let's try example number 5. What if you are going to encounter as a payment term ROG? What does it mean? ROG here means receipt of the goods. If happen that you encounter ROG as your payment terms, meaning this means that the discount period begins upon the receipt of the goods by the buyer. Meaning the discount rate begins when you receive the receipt already. So it's right, for example, you purchased the certain amount on January 1 and you receive the receipt on January 10, meaning on January 10, the discount rate will begin. That's how ROG works, meaning receipt of the goods. Again, ROG, this means that the discount period begins upon the receipt of the goods by the buyer. When the buyer receives the receipt of the good. Okay, that's how ROG works. Another one, another payment terms that is all usually written in the invoices that we encounter, COD. This is very familiar to you, most especially if you keep on purchasing item in Shopee and whatnot. So COD means cash on delivery. Payment would have to be made upon the delivery of the goods, meaning you are going to pay once the item is delivered to you. That's how COD works. Okay, so those are some of the payment terms, some of the payment terms that we encounter along the way. If you still have hard time in understanding each of the payment terms, do not worry, because I have prepared a lot of examples for you to learn it more and comprehensible.